power is an amoral game. It is a social force that has governed human interaction since the dawn of civilization. Most people live under the delusion that power is something only evil people seek, but the truth is far more clinical. To be powerless is to be miserable. To have power is to have the freedom to protect yourself and influence your surroundings. Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power is a distillation of 3,000 years of history. It draws from the wisdom of strategists like Sun Tzu, Machiavelli, and Talleyrand. Today, we strip away the morality of should and ought to look at the world as it actually is. Law 1. Never outshine the master, always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please or impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite, inspiring fear and insecurity. The transgression. Nicolas Fouquet, finance minister to King Louis XIV, threw a lavish party to show his loyalty. The king felt outshined and arrested him. The observance. Galileo Galilei attributed his discovery of the moons of Jupiter to the Medici family, linking their name to the stars. He secured their patronage for life. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends are often the first to betray you because they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. The strategy. If you hire a former enemy, they will be more loyal because they have more to prove. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. They provide a clear target and keep you sharp. Law 3. Conceal your intentions, keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. The strategy. Use smoke screens. Talk endlessly about your desires for things you don't actually want. When your true goal is revealed, it will be too late for your rivals to react. Law 4. Always say less than necessary when you are trying to impress people with words. The more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control you are. Even if you are saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and sphinx-like. The lesson. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying very little. The more you talk, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. The strategy. Make your reputation unassailable. If you are known for honesty, you can deceive. If you are known for ruthlessness, you can win without a fight. Law 6. Court attention at all cost. Everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd or buried in oblivion. Stand out. Be conspicuous at all cost. The strategy. It is better to be slandered and attacked than ignored. Create a sense of mystery or controversy. The burning light of attention is the fuel of power. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and legwork of others to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, but it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. The lesson. Your helpers will be forgotten, and you will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait, if necessary, when you force the other person to act. You are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning their own plans in the process. The strategy. Lure them with fabulous gains, then strike. You hold the cards when you control the geography of the negotiation. Law 9. Win through your actions. Never through argument. Any momentary victory you think you have gained through argument is a Pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any momentary change of opinion. The strategy. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. The strategy. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune upon themselves. They will also draw it upon you. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. To maintain your independence, you must always be needed and wanted. The more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. The strategy. Make people depend on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them enough so that they can do without you. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere and honest move will cover over dozens of dishonest ones. Heartfelt gestures of honesty and generosity bring down the guard of even the most suspicious people. The strategy. Once your selective honesty opens a hole in their armor, you can deceive and manipulate them at will. A timely gift, a Trojan horse, will serve the same purpose. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. If you need to turn to an ally for help, do not remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. He will find a way to ignore you. The strategy. Instead, uncover something in your request or in your alliance with him that will benefit him and emphasize it out of all proportion. He will respond with enthusiasm when he sees something in it for himself. Law 14. Pose as a friend. Work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. You can send spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead, but it is better to be the spy yourself. The strategy. In polite social encounters, learn to probe. Ask indirect questions to get people to reveal their frailties and intentions. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. All great leaders, since Moses, have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. The lesson: more is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge. Crush him, not only in body but in spirit. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporary withdrawal from it will make you more talked about, even more admired. The strategy. You must learn when to leave. Create value through scarcity. Law 17. Keep others in terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit with an insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's actions. Your predictability gives them a sense of control. The strategy. Turn the tables. Be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have no consistency or purpose will keep them off balance, and they will wear themselves out trying to explain your moves. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous, and enemies are everywhere. Everyone has to protect themselves. A fortress seems the safest. But isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you from. The lesson: it cuts you off from valuable information. It makes you conspicuous and an easy target. Better to circulate among people, find allies, and mingle. The crowd is your best shield. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. The strategy: choose your victims and opponents carefully. Never offend or deceive the wrong person. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rushes to take a side. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. The strategy: by maintaining your independence, you become the master of others playing sides against each other, making them pursue you. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick is to make your victims feel smartan, not just smart, but smarter than you are. The strategy: once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power when you are weaker. Never fight for honor's sake. Choose surrender instead. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror, time to wait for his power to wane. The lesson: do not give him the satisfaction of fighting and defeating you. Surrender first. By turning the other cheek, you infuriate and unsettle him. Make surrender a tool of power. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Conserve your forces and energies. By keeping them concentrated at their strongest point, you gain more by finding a rich mine and mining it deeper than by flitting from one shallow mine to another. The strategy: intensity defeats extensity every time. When looking for sources of power to elevate you, find the one key patron, the fat cow who will give you milk for a long time to come. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. The perfect courtier thrives in a world where everything revolves around power and political dexterity. He has mastered the art of indirection. He flatters, yields to superiors, and asserts power over others in the most oblique and graceful manner. The strategy: learn and apply the laws of courtiership, and there will be no limit to how far you can rise in the court. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the roles that society foists upon you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. The strategy: be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you. Incorporate dramatic devices into your public gestures, and your power will seem enhanced, and your character will seem larger than life. Julius Caesar understood this. He was a master of the grand gesture and public oratory that made him appear as a living legend. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. The strategy: maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat's paws to disguise your involvement. When a mistake is made, find a sacrificial lamb to take the blame. Let someone else be the bearer of bad news or the executor of unpleasant tasks. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe. To create a cult-like following, people have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. Become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. The lesson: keep your words vague, but full of promise. Emphasize enthusiasm over intellectual lucidity. Give your new disciples rituals to perform and ask them to make sacrifices on your behalf. In the absence of organized religion and grand causes, your homemade cult will give you untold power. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. If you are unsure of a course of action, do not attempt it. Your doubts and hesitations will infect your execution. Timidity is dangerous. Better to enter with boldness. The strategy: any mistakes you commit through audacity are easily corrected with more audacity. Everyone admires the bold, no one honors the timid. A bold move makes you seem larger and more powerful than you are. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to it, taking into account all the possible consequences, obstacles, and twists of fortune that might reverse your hard work and give the glory to others. The lesson: by planning to the end, you will not be overwhelmed by circumstances, and you will know when to stop. Gently guide fortune and help determine the future by thinking many steps ahead. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Your actions must seem natural and executed with ease. All the toil and practice that go into them, and also all the clever tricks, must be concealed. The strategy: when you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work. It only raises questions. Never teach anyone your tricks, or they will be used against you. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice. Your victims feel they are in control, but are actually your puppets. The strategy: give people options that come out in your favor, whichever one they choose. Force them to make choices between the lesser of two evils, both of which serve your purpose. This is the ultimate heads I win, tails you lose scenario. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. The truth is often avoided because it is ugly and unpleasant. Never appeal to truth and reality unless you are prepared for the anger that comes from disenchantment. The strategy: life is so harsh and distressing that people who can manufacture romance or conjure up fantasy are like oases in the desert. Everyone flocks to them. There is great power in tapping into the collective fantasies of the masses. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion, or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. The lesson: once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. Most people hide their weaknesses, so look for the things they cannot control: their nervous twitches, their childhood insecurities, or their secret cravings. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated. In the long run, appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. The strategy: a king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. By acting regally and confident of your powers, you make yourself seem destined to wear a crown. Believe you are destined for greatness, and the world will believe it too. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Never seem to be in a hurry. Hurrying betrays a lack of control over yourself and over time. Always seem patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. The strategy: become a detective of the right moment. Sniff out the spirit of the times, the trends that will carry you to power. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet ripe, and to strike fiercely when it has reached fruition. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. By acknowledging a petty problem, you give it existence and credibility. The more attention you pay an enemy, the stronger you make him, and a small mistake is often made worse and more visible when you try to fix it. The lesson: it is sometimes best to leave things alone. If there is something you want but cannot have, show contempt for it. The less interest you reveal, the more superior you seem. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone has responded to them. Stage spectacles for those around you, then, full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols that heighten your presence. The strategy: dazzled by appearance. No one will notice what you are really doing. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. If you make a show of going against the times, flaunting your unconventional ideas and unorthodox ways, people will think that you only want attention and that you look down upon them. The lesson: they will find a way to punish you for making them feel inferior. It is far safer to blend in and nurture the common touch. Share your originality only with tolerant friends and those who are sure to appreciate your uniqueness. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive. You must always stay calm and objective. But if you can make your enemies angry while staying calm yourself, you gain a decided advantage. The strategy: put your enemies off balance. Find the chink in their vanity through which you can rattle them, and you hold the strings. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. What is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. What is worth paying for. The lesson: by paying your own way, you stay clear of gratitude, guilt, and deceit. It is also often wise to pay the full price. There is no cutting corners with excellence. Be lavish with your money and keep it circulating, for generosity is a sign and a magnet for power. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. What happens first always appears better and more original than what comes after. If you succeed a great man or have a famous parent, you will have to accomplish double their achievements to outshine them. The strategy: do not get lost in their shadow or stuck in a past not of your own making. Establish your own name and identity by changing course. Slay the overbearing father, disparage his legacy, and gain power by shining in your own way. Law 42. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. Trouble can often be traced to a single strong individual, the stirrer, the arrogant underling, the poisoner of goodwill. The lesson: if you allow such people room to operate, others will succumb to their influence. Do not wait for the troubles they cause to multiply. Do not try to negotiate with them, they are irredeemable. Neutralize their influence by isolating or banishing them. Strike at the source of the trouble, and the sheep will scatter. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. The strategy: the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and their weaknesses. Soften them up by playing on their emotions, appealing to what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds of others, and they will grow to hate you. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. The mirror reflects reality, but it is also the perfect tool for deception. When you mirror your enemies, doing exactly as they do, they cannot figure out your strategy. The lesson: the mirror effect mocks and humiliates them, making them overreact. By holding a mirror to their psyches, you seduce them with the illusion that you share their values. By holding a mirror to their actions, you teach them a lesson. Few can resist the power of the mirror effect. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Everyone understands the need for change in the abstract, but on the day-to-day level, people are creatures of habit. Too much innovation is traumatic and will lead to revolt. The strategy: if you are new to a position of power or an outsider trying to build a base, make a show of respecting the old way of doing things. If change is necessary, make it feel like a gentle improvement on the past. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Appearing better than others is always dangerous, but most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults or weaknesses. Envy creates silent enemies. The lesson: it is smart to occasionally display defects and admit to harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. Only gods and the dead can seem perfect with impunity. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for in victory. Learn when to stop. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for, and by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. The strategy: do not allow success to go to your head. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal, and when you reach it, stop. Law 48. Assume formlessness by taking a shape. By having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form that your enemy can grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. The lesson: accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. The game never ends. We have traversed the 48 laws of power, from the sun-drenched courts of Versailles to the backroom deals of the industrial age. The rules remain the same because human nature remains the same. Power is not a destination, it is a discipline. It requires the mastery of your emotions, the sharpening of your observation, and the willingness to play the long game. You now possess the map. You understand the levers of influence and the traps of the weak. The question is no longer whether you will play the game. You are already in it. The question is, will you be a master of the laws or their victim? The choice is yours.